Check out shares of Tilray. Parabolic move today. The company announcing it will be the first company to export medical cannabis to the U.S. for clinical trials. And Mad Money's Jim Cramer just spoke to the CEO moments ago about all of the M&A rumors circulating about the company. Take a listen.
I think all the alcohol companies need to enter this industry. It's a great hedge for them, or whether you're an alcohol company or an investor in an alcohol company. This is a global opportunity. Our intent is to build a company that dominates part of this $150 billion industry. I think you'll see multiple $100 billion companies. We don't want to partner with ABI. We want to build ABI.
Been a meteoric rise for Tilray, as you know, up more than 800%. Since the IPO back in July, it now has a market cap of $14.4 billion, bigger than 140 companies in the S&P 500. But despite all that hype, the company only has $28 million in sales. Now, by the way, the company has 21 million publicly traded shares. It traded 19 million today alone. Well,
Yeah.
what do you do with this?
Well, it's really tough. And on this show, you've seen me, when the stock was overpriced at 30, say, hey, it's a little pricey here, but it's the only U.S. play. It's the first U.S. IPO. You know, there's maybe cheaper names. And you've seen me say at $100, hey, really expensive here. I'm not sure what to do, but I would not be buying the stock. We're now at close to $150. What happened today? Well, bottom line is that the FDA has come in and said that one of the main U.S. players, they're obviously very well situated in Canada, but they are someone that has U.S. positioning. It's significant U.S. positioning, can import medical cannabis. They're going to be researching it at UCSD. They're going to be able to make more progress on the research side. This is a day after we get Coca-Cola coming in here and talking about non-medical uses for CBD in their products at some point. So think about what's going on here. And he talked about $150 billion. I mean, that's impressive annually.
Yeah, we have the madman himself with us. Jim Cramer is joining us. Hey, Jimmy, it sounds like a great interview, but what do you do with a stock that's gone up as much as this one has when you compare it to some of the company's fundamentals?
Well, look, I will say, and it's great to talk to Tim. I saw him at the Green Market Report conference last week, too. There is, I think, a $500 billion opportunity here, and there's really only about $40 billion worth of market cap of the major the marijuana or cannabis stocks. However, I did everything but just get on my knees and beg Brendan to be able to issue stock here, because he's got to compete against the $5 billion war chest that Canopy has because of their exposure to Constellation. I know he says he wants to be the next Bud, but the thing that's smart is you're going to need a tremendous amount of capital to do medicine, to do beverages, to do edibles, to do pet food health, pet health. All of these things they want to do. That requires a lot of money. So, Scotty, I got to tell you, they should raise it when the money, when the corn is high, and he just wasn't biting.
And you don't think there's too much hype, speculative money just plowing into these names, and that someone's going to get hurt on the other side?
No, someone definitely will. But against that is the fact that Canopy was a company that when I first started talking about when Rob Sands came on, he made that big investment Constellation. And he said, Jim, you're ignoring how big this market is. Now, there's a lot of retail money in this stock, and it's a very difficult to borrow stock. And I think, as Tim and I know, that it was a really big news today that maybe the government is getting a little bit softer on medical. But I've got to tell you, if you're buying it up here, you better have more of a thesis than just that the quarter's going to be good. Because I think October 17th is not going to be nearly as much of a watershed. That's repeal day of prohibition in Canada. And, Scott, I think that these stocks are going to come down hard after October 17th.
Yeah, interesting. Jim, Guy has a question for you.
I got a question for you, JC. Carson Wentz, back in the fold. What is that? What are you thinking about that? What happens to Nick Foles now, man?
Well, Ron Jaworski was just tweeting something about how Foles, they've got to, we're 28th in short pass, 28th in passing right now, which is, I think, will change when Carson comes in. But we got to give him some weapons. And we haven't been giving, we do not have a receiving core that's anything like what we had last year in the Super Bowl. So I'm nervous. Call me nervous. I'll be there. Frank Reich's going to be coming. He's an unbelievable coach. He was our great offensive coordinator from the Colts. And I'm nervous. What can I say? I'm nervous. I love our birds, but I'm nervous. And I'd be nervous if I started buying Tilray tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Timmy has a question for you, Jimmy.
Real quick, Jimmy, you've interviewed a lot of these CEOs. What's the common thread with these guys? They're young, they're entrepreneurial. What else?
I think that they genuinely believe in the power of cannabis to stop opiates. They believe in the power of cannabis to be able to make it so that we are safer from violence at home because alcohol is such a big part of that. I think they believe in cannabis as a way to be able to have less drunk driving. But most importantly, I think they believe in cannabis because it's a heck of a lot healthier than everything else we put in our bodies.